Okay, everybody, I think I'm live. Hi, what's going on? I'm RJ. I'm going to be running Hylics 2 for you. We're going to be doing an any percent run, which is just beating the game as quickly as possible. Okay, everybody, I think I'm live. Hi, what's going on? I'm RJ. I'm going to be running Hylics 2 for you. We're going to be doing an any percent run, which is just beating the game as quickly as possible. Without further ado, I'll give a three and go count to start the timer. So time starts when I hit new game on 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so we start out with this little cutscene, but we're gonna skip it, which is the only cutscene in the game that we can actually skip. And then we're gonna do a little detour here. I'm changing my outfit. There's actually a secondary outfit here that I enjoy more. Doesn't save us any time, but we sure do look a lot cooler, don't we? And one last thing before we actually get out of here, we're gonna pet this Wayne larva. Get over here. There we go. You always gotta pet the Wayne larva for good luck. Just remember that. All right. Now we're gonna make a little detour up to the top of the house here. Up to see old Wayne. We ain't gonna talk to him though. We're just gonna jump on his head. Thanks, bud. Oh, almost fell right off the edge of the map. We're gonna get an attack item, an attack piece of equipment from the top there. You'll notice if you're paying attention, all of the items for attacking are named after, like, something to do with hands, like a word involving your hands, like digits, fingers, gloves, like all sorts of stuff. And you'll see why once we get into the combat. When we make our way over to this first town here, this is New Moldol, where we're going to see the person in charge here because they have something to tell us, which we would have found out had we talked to old Wayne instead of jumping on his head. But I've talked to him enough, so we're just gonna kind of keep going. Grab some coins there, we may need them later. And we're gonna get a key to a house from this guy by giving him some juice, because why not? And then we'll teleport back out of there. You'll see that teleport a lot, actually. It's a feature that was put into the game during the beta phase because people kept getting stuck and lost and they couldn't move. So it was a way to reset your position in the level or reset your way, reset yourself back to like the start where Wayne's bed. We'll be, oh gosh, let me jump. One thing about this game is the terrain either looks like flat or it might be inclined. It's really hard to tell for the most part. So you'll just be running and just launch into the air, kind of like what we're doing right here. But the guy we came to see here actually isn't here, and instead a friend from the first game is. His name's Pongorma. And if y'all aren't familiar with the Hylics series, the art style for this game is 3D scanned clay models and pixel art. So most of all of the, we'll call them people, that you'll see in this game are 3D models scanned into the game. We just had to grab one more item before we get out of here. Fall into the water. Water resets our position. So our good buddy Pongorma here, he gives us the ability to air dash. Oh gosh, we're going the wrong way. Will we make it? Oops. So like I was saying, the directions are a little hard to do sometimes. But no worries, it's not that far. Whoa, we almost did it again. As I was saying, our buddy Pongorma here gives us the ability to air dash, which you see us doing like frequently, and we'll use as often as possible because it's way faster than just running. He also tells us that the person in charge of the town we were in was captured, and that we're gonna go save him, but we're not gonna do that before we make more detours to this little area. This is an optional area, but we're gonna get a spell here and another piece of attack equipment that's gonna help us along the way. See, there's brain digits. You're wondering, yes, that is an attack item. And then we'll talk to this TV. All of the skills in the game are learned from TVs. This one's called Nematode Interface. Oh, we're talking to it again. My bad, I overmashed. And then we're gonna do some equipping real quick. Oops, and gloves. And then we're going to use our mini crystal to go back to Wayne's house. Oh, they are handy. The brain digits that we just picked up are particularly handy. The boots and long gloves that we've picked up, right? Actually, we're going to talk to this toilet here and get a soul sponge. Don't worry about it. It's a revive item. The brain digits are super handy. We actually do get that in the run for the most part. It's an item that gives the person who's wearing it 50 speed. And this game works off of flat values. There's no stat increases of any kind except for health, which is increased in a... Oh, wait. We don't have that ship yet. Increased by unconventional means. And we'll talk about it when we actually get to that function of the game. No, you don't be worried about it. Just be happy. So here we are at our next destination. This is Vuax's Edifice. And this is where we were told we can save the leader of the town. There's our second character. We'll recruit Odazir, another familiar face from Hylics 1 if you're curious. Here's an enemy. Hopefully he doesn't see us. Good thing about enemies in this game, if they don't look at you, they won't aggro and chase you. Bad thing about enemies is if they do chase you and catch you, and you get into a fight, you have to reset. The fights in this game, Jesus, I can't jump. Every individual encounter in this game functions like its own little boss event, essentially. So we don't want to fight anything that we don't have to, which sounds logical. But in this game, it's especially punishing. We will lose minutes if we don't safety save and get into an encounter, or safety save and then get into an encounter. This is gonna be bad. All right, we got him. Good. I always safety save before that one because sometimes dodging him's a bit sketchy. And then we're gonna make another safety save before our first boss here. Looks pretty menacing, right? This is Vuax. So this fight is actually, I would say, the hardest fight in the game because we only have 3 party members and we're fighting 5 people. So what we're gonna do is Wayne has a special skill called Dissolution that we're gonna use on Vuax. And what it does is it lowers his attack by 20% and does a little bit of damage over time. Wow, stop hitting Wayne. We have to heal Wayne. Luckily, Vuax wasn't faster than Odazir. And now that we have Vuax disillusioned, we're gonna work on all of the tyros around him. And hopefully at some point, Vuax will do a skill where he charges up. God, they really hate Wayne. Hey, he left, that's nice. Sometimes when you attack them, they just leave. I don't know why. We're actually just gonna attack, why not? Oh my gosh, he's actually charging up. What a world. Good marathon luck. Strange. All right, so now we're gonna... The next turn, Vuax is gonna do an attack that hits everybody around him, including the other tyros. So we're actually gonna take the time now to kind of gear up. Jeez, he left too, wow. This is a really good fight. Yeah, they just leave. They're just like, I'm over it, bruh. This attack is really scary, but nobody's done anything so far. So we're just gonna kind of go at Vuax here and hopefully we can win. Because as soon as he's under like 95-ish health, when it gets to his turn again, he's gonna use a cookie and heal up. But he might die. I've never actually... Okay, yeah, he died. I've never seen that exchange where he's low enough to die to damage over time. So he's dead and he gives us a key. He explodes into meat and we get a key. Good time, sad by all. That was actually a really good fight. Strangely enough, the whole point is to have him hopefully do that spiky radius attack and kill everything around him for us, but just in case he doesn't feel like doing that, we prep for the run by attacking. Attacking the stuff around him, trying to do it ourselves to limit the amount of damage we're taking. All right, where's this guy again? No, okay, this is gonna be bad actually. Does he know I'm here? He doesn't know I'm here. Where are you gonna go? What a gentleman. All right, here's our friend, Blellroll. That's him. And then we'll also talk to this guy over here, the shopkeeper. and use the mini crystal again to go back to Wayne's house. All right, so we're back at Wayne's house. We got clean. Clean status is in effect that allows the people who are clean to not take any sort of status effect damage. Oh, you guys lost me for a bit? Oh yeah, I can see the stream, I'm a little behind. Hopefully I'm still behind. And we're back in town here to go see our friend, but before we do, we're gonna buy some multi-coffees because we're a little tired. We can use some caffeine. And now we'll go see our good buddy. Back in the place where we found Pangorma, that's where we'll find the leader of the town. Oh gosh. And we give him a talk. He'll explain the whole plot of the game, what's going on. Essentially, the whole plot of this game, the first guy, the main bad guy from the first game, Gibby, is being reconstituted or revived by a cult in this game. And Blelroll, the guy we just saved, is telling us that we need to stop it. So this is a cutscene of them doing the ritual of reconstituting. If you don't know what's going on, don't feel bad, because to be quite honest, I don't think I do either. Yeah, the music in this game is absolutely fantastic. And just the overall sounds. So now that the guy, Blelroll, told us what's going on, he trusts us enough with the keys to his airship, so we're gonna go use that. The top of this hill here. We'll go right into the ship. And instantly start flying, because we're not gonna go exactly where we need to just yet. We're gonna make another detour to pick up our last skill of the game that we'll need. This is arguably the most important skill of the game. On this island, it's called Charge Up, and when a person uses that first as a skill, the second turn when they use a skill that's not Charge Up, it has added effects. And this only really serves us one purpose, but it's a very important purpose, is that when Odazir charges up and then does his foam armor skill that we saw him use on Wayne, it actually applies to everybody. So instead of getting it for one turn, we actually get to we take 2 turns to use it 4 times. Pretty good deal. But what foam armor does, I didn't really have a chance to explain it during that fight because everything was going so great. What it does is it applies, it's a full heal to anybody who's hurt, and it applies 50 additional health, and it protects everybody from a status called leaking, which is like this game's bleeding. But just another important thing to note, like in the fights, there are no strengths and weaknesses. Damage over time is a flat amount no matter what you're doing. So basically, all the fights almost work the exact same way. We just try to get all of the damage over time skills up that we have and let them do the work while we're also wailing away on people. Now we're about to start our second fight here and recruit a character, but we have to do some menuing first, because we don't usually have these in the run, and it actually messes us up if everybody has stuff besides Wayne. All right, here we go. So this isn't really a boss fight. These are all regular enemies, but like I said, every encounter you get into can be treated like a boss fight. But this fight's interesting because, as you can see, the guy on the right, the Electrolin, every time it's attacked, it counterattacks by putting everything into sleep. But since we have clean status, Wayne, Odazir, and Pangorma don't actually fall asleep. And And we'll use our first multi-coffee that we bought in town. This gives everybody caffeinated status, makes them unable to be put to sleep. I think y'all can see where we're going here. Having everything be asleep is also nice because animations in this game clearly take quite a long time. So any opportunity we have to have something not do an animation is just good time save overall in the run. So basically the only person who's ever really going to get an attack here is the guy on the right, the Electrolan. And then this pool man on the left. I actually really love this song. And so Wayne, Bongorma, attack them. Snowsa will use her special ability Wave Artificer, which hits everybody for 2/3 her attack power. Desmond gets to go. Truculent dead. So good stuff, and with that being done, we get our 4th character, Snowsa, my personal favorite, for no other reason than I just like her character design. So before we head out, let's talk to this little ranch guy. This is a juice farm, by the way. Hey, let me talk to him. There we go. He's gonna give us one of his ponchos. And then we're gonna do a menu. I have to make sure I have extra items, so I gotta make sure we do it right. So she can actually keep a set of long gloves. And we're out. Yeah, all of the attacks being based on, like, they're called gestures, which is pretty funny because you do a bunch of hand gestures to do the attacks. I definitely enjoy that as well. So recruiting our friend Snowsa, she actually gives us a key to this area to get in that door. We know there's, from the cutscene that we saw, there's a generator around the area, and we're going to this place to shut the generator off. This place is called the Worm Pod Maze, and as you can tell, it kind of just forms as you're running through it. So definitely a very confusing area the first time you will ever come here, but once you figure out the route to get there, it's not too bad. The only thing that's hard is knowing exactly when the paths will start. It's really hard to tell sometimes, even when you know they're coming. And the movement in general is hard, because sometimes these paths form in directions that are just not they don't do well with the movement of the game. We're actually on a really good pace here, so we had to wait. If you're fast enough there, you could actually run into that enemy. And I'm gonna save again. We're already at the end of the maze. That was it. There's a lot more paths and a lot more things going on, but we're gonna make a quick save, just in case. We're about to start our next boss here. This is the worms. This is the worm. So we'll start off the fight with the Desmond doing his charge up thing to get ready for next turn. And then we're just gonna apply our damage over time effects. Soul Crisper, Nematode interface, and then Wayne will use Dissolution next turn. The only reason we don't worry about what the worm's gonna do is he'll always do that accelerate turn first, which allows the worm to do 2 attacks from here on out. But by then we'll be plenty prepared. Also, we use coffee turn 1, because if you don't use coffee after the worm does its accelerate attack, it will use a skill that puts everybody to sleep, and there's just nothing you can do about it. You have to hope the worm wakes you up without killing you. So we got our damage over time. We're actually going to just keep snapping and hope the worm doesn't kill anybody. Even if the worm does happen to kill people, it's not a huge deal. It just slows down the fight a little bit. Because as I was saying, there's no stats. Everything is a flat damage. Oh, it's a worm. You're seeing a worm. Don't worry about it. This is one of the worst attacks to happen. We might lose. Okay, we're still all alive, which is good. We'll be fine. That 100 kicks is the slowest thing the worm can do, and it does obscene amount of damage. Die. Yay! We did it. Sorry. If you match for some reason, it gives you like a noise like you can't push that, even though you can't do anything. But here we go. We killed the worm, and apparently the worm is the one who was in control of that shield. So now that the worm's dead, the shield's dead. Makes sense, right? And then the game does us a solid by putting us just outside the maze. I don't know what it is. Every time you leave that door specifically, you can't air dash right away. I don't know what it is. But instead of running back to the ship, we're just going to jump in the water and have it reset us by the ship. Good times. And we're going to fly to our next island. Because now that we've taken out the shield, we can go confront the cult that's trying to resurrect Gibby. Fun fact, this the whole game, like the whole art and stuff, was created by one person, Mason Lindroth. But just enjoy the flying music. Super chill. When I played this casually, I just flew around in the ship doing nothing. Listening to the music, it's just so comfy. Just using our air dash so we don't have to take conventional means. Conventional walking paths. This area is called Foglast. It's like it's a pretty big dungeon area, but for what we need to do to actually get through the dungeon, there's not a whole lot of places we need to go. We basically go to the same place twice. We go back and forth a few times. You'll notice there's wires all around, and these wires are supposed to kind of cue you into where you're going, but there's a bunch of different wires and all sorts of janky fun stuff. This place is also an enigma of what is level surface and what's higher, what surfaces are higher than others. It's something you just kind of get used to. Oh, we almost nailed it. So all we're doing in this area is running around and hitting a bunch of buttons to deactivate more shields in here, so we can get to the top of the level where the boss is. We use our mini crystal to reset our position because it's faster than walking. You know, that's a pretty good point. I do not believe that there is anything conventional about anything that's happening right here. Get another key. We're gonna reset our position again. It's a little faster than just going back than without teleporting. And then we're gonna go right back to where we pushed that first button. Ah! Go up the ladder. You just have to jump, and if you're slightly off, you just fall off sometimes. There we go. We fixed the bridge. Now we can fly across to the temple and fight the boss in a little bit. Because of course we got to push more buttons. Fly over his head. Please pick up another attack item. Make a slight little, I guess this area is a little secret. It's kind of hard to miss. You can see that sarcophagus thing up there, even when it's not particularly light in the area. Good timing. We're gonna wait a second. Run past, do another menu real quick. Yeah. Okay, actually we're gonna do, this'll throw me off if he has that. And then we got a free heal from going into that maze, but if you don't go into that maze, you actually have to slap these little bugs walking around. That's how you heal. And then we gotta check our health. This is actually scary, so we're gonna, Snows' health is a little low, so we're actually gonna save Scum and make more bugs. Great. Good times. Let's go. All right. So we hit the button down here. We grab some items. We're going to go up and fight the boss of the area now. Okay. So this is Odazir Incarcero. We're gonna save. To start this fight, you don't even have to talk to me, just slap him. I don't think that was intended. So right away, you'll notice a gimmick to this fight. We'll start, Carcero on the right is wrapped. And, sorry, I don't want to screw up this first turn. Is wrapped, so we'll spend an attack unwrapping him every single turn, because if we unwrap him, hold on, wait for it. Odazir on the left here. Oh, he's doing Gizzard Splume. Don't worry about it. Odazir on the left here will actually have to rewrap him and not attack us. So we'll do this every turn. We're gonna unwrap him. So we only have to get attacked by one person. Apply our damage over times to Carcero, because next should be Odazir's turn, and he'll use his foam armor. Since he charged it up, it applies to everybody. Super cool. And Pongorma will just attack. The thing that stinks a little bit about Gizzard Splume, that attack, is that it also applies Dissolution, so Pongorma is doing 20% less damage. It is not the end of the world, but it does stink a little bit. It'll slow down the fight just a tiny bit. So now that Odazir basically has a free turn here after doing charged foam armor, we're gonna use it. We're gonna use him to attack and unwrap, and then we're gonna apply our damage over time stuff to Odazir on the left, so we start working on him a bit. We're just kind of hoping that Carcero here doesn't attack the same person twice. If he does, we'll be okay. I'm actually going to apply Soul Crisper again. I'd imagine being foamed is a pretty okay time. Oh wow, we did a lot of damage. That was a lot more damage. Okay, see you later, Pongorma. We're fine. We'll be okay. Don't even worry about it. See, if you notice, like, winning the damage over a time, oh gosh, that's annoying too. All right, we're gonna have to apply more damage over time back. That's even worse than being disillusioned. Wayne is literally gonna do almost no damage. It might be like in the single digits. Yeah, he did 3 damage. Hey, he's dead. Doesn't matter. Damage over time saves the day. Not a bad fight, even though Odazir died. All right, so right away, we got to go right back into another boss fight. We don't really have time to prepare for it. Like, there's nothing we can do to prepare for it. You can't use items outside of battle. Unfortunately, we weren't fast enough, so Gibby's going to be reconstituted here, and we're going to be right into a fight with him. And like I said, we can't use items outside of battle. There's nothing we can do. So we have to go into this fight and really just hope that when Gibby uses his first turn here, that he doesn't use the dynamite attack. It like almost never happens. So, you know, naturally it's probably going to happen this run. But we just start off by attacking. See, we're actually not even that bad. Like, we have decent health with everybody but Pongorma. We just don't want to see the dynamite attack. Oh, boy. No way! It would do the dynamite attack. Oh, jeez. Really extra. But anyway, I'm just kidding. That's supposed to happen. He's supposed to get us there. There's actually a faster way through the fight, but a little jabate on chat isn't always, a little jabate to the chat isn't always, a bad time. As you can see, Gibby, we lose, Gibby creates his fortress, Hylics. Fun thing about this game is dying is completely expected. Every time you die, you end up going to the afterworld, which we'll see in just a second here. Which is actually good for us, because we're going to do a couple things here. aside from just, you know, being there. So if you're unfamiliar with the first game, everybody kind of looked like these giant abomination people, and all they did was speak in kind of gibberish. Like, I think there's a statistic like 85% of the dialogue in the first game is just randomly generated text. So we're gonna get clean. We're gonna use this thing. It's called the meat grinder. And what that does, we don't want to go there. We're gonna go into here. We're gonna use these on Pangorma. And then we're gonna teleport out. And what the meat grinder does, every time you win a fight, you get meat from the fight. And when you use the meat in the meat grinder, it actually ups everybody's health. That's the only way to raise their stats. So this is the only time we go to the afterworld, so it's the only time we're actually gonna use it. But, you know, it definitely helps out. It makes it so we can handle the last fight of the game without doing any sort of prep for it, other than getting there. Call our ship back. And we'll fly up to Hylics Island and enjoy the chill ship music one more time. We'll see how cleanly this is going. The run's going pretty okay so far, so I don't want to jinx myself, but if you actually do get into a fight, the death animation's very funny, and I wanna show it off if I can. So if we have a good time, I'll just do it real quick. It won't waste a lot of time. We'll prep for it. But this is Hylics Island, another big maze. Ooh, we just want to fall in sync. This part's a little sketchy. All right, good, we made it. Sometimes that guy's walking cycle is just right on top of you. You're always delayed a little bit when you sink and respawn. Nice, good roll. So there is a roll mechanic. I haven't really been using it because it's extremely sketchy, but I know it almost always works on that particular enemy. Oh God, don't see me. Getting into a fight here would honestly be like a two-minute time loss if I didn't save beforehand. This is really good cycle. The whole point of this area is we gotta drain 2 reservoirs. This is the first one. Now we want to use the mini crystal. Go back to the start. We need to drain 2 reservoirs so we can get to the top of the area. That guy's already gone. Thanks for leaving, bud. Grab this. Do our last menu of the game. Sorry, I have a few extra items, so I have to be careful of what I'm equipping. Did he get boots? Boots. Who's supposed? Is he? Oh, see, I did screw up. He's supposed to have the faded poncho. There we go. All right, let me just chomp this. Fine. That does Pangorma. Psychic. Good. Yeah, I don't pick up. I pick up 2 extra items, and it kind of really screws up the menus. At least the flow of them, and it did get me. So I'm glad I checked. It wouldn't have been the end of the world. Wayne is plenty fast on his own. It just would have been a different turn. But here we go. Last switch to drain the reservoir. And we're gonna smack this guy. He turned into, essentially all the people turned into giant bugs. All right, where is... And if you slap a giant bug, it counts as a full heal. All right, we got 1 more dot. Oh, I went back through the door. Good job. I'm actually gonna save before this last dodge. Just because if I happen to fail it, I don't wanna. I don't wanna fail it. He didn't even roll! Good thing I saved. All right, well, we get to watch the death animation anyway, for free. Here it is. Every time you lose a fight, everybody wipes. This is what happens. Wow, that was he didn't even roll. What a champion. All right, let's see where we are. I've actually never safety saved here. Yeah, okay, he's behind us. Good. All right, we got a little more to do. But before we do, we're gonna make another save here, but this one's actually intended, and then we're gonna load. It's gonna reset our spawn point to right here, so when we use the mini crystal, we won't have to do as much running. There's our last key. Use our mini crystal. Country roads, take me home. And we're out of here. I don't even know. I wonder if we have full health. Right, yeah, I loaded a save. We're good. We're gonna slap this guy just for fun. That'll teach you to be a big bug in my way. All right, so we're at the end. We got our boss fight with Gibby here. I'm gonna do one more safety save just in case. But if all things go according to plan, Gibby is probably the easiest boss in the entire game. Oh, one more bounce. It's funny when you talk to people air dashing because everybody just starts spinning. All right, so the only thing, this isn't a debate, I promise. The only thing we don't want to see is Gibby do a move called Killer Trees turn 1. If he does do Killer Trees turn 1, it's not the end of the world. It's just going to slow down the fight by probably about like 30 or 40 seconds. But we're doing pretty good on time. So one thing you notice with Gibby, every time he's hit, he'll spawn a minion retroactively. We'll use this to our advantage as long as he doesn't use Killer Trees this turn. Don't do it, buddy. Thank you. This is actually one of the best attacks he could possibly do. So he'll hit us now. Charge up. Now, since he didn't use Killer Trees this turn, we can guarantee that he'll do Killer Trees every other turn, every second turn. So he will do Killer Trees at the end of this. When he has 6 minions around him, he will do Killer Trees when it's his turn. And it's an attack that does a percentile damage to the entire party, but as long as they're above about like 20-ish, 21 health, they can't be killed by it. So Odazir, our boy, our foam armor champion, gives us the full heal, the foam armor. Then we just kind of snap it out for a little bit. I said this the other day when I was doing some practice. I've never seen Gibby do Killer Trees 2 turns in a row. I really hope I never do. But if he doesn't, we're in for an okay time here. Let's see. Is he gonna do it? First ever? No, not today. So on turn 4 here, we're actually going to re-up the Soul Crisper with Samsnosa. He just keeps attacking. Samsnosa's next. I guess while we're snapping, I could talk about like why we do the menus that I did. And it's very simple. We just want to maximize how many people can go before the enemy gets a turn. Because as I was saying in another fight, all of the damage over time effects happen on the enemy's turn. So as many as we can get up right away, it's like having 3 extra people attack every turn. So Wayne took damage there, but he's still got enough health where he's gonna live. This song is called Fancy Meat Computer, by the way. Somebody said in chat that this was their favorite song. So while we were playing this as battle rewards and we actually picked 2 up, we got these things called Cloud Germs, and they're full heal and 50% will, what am I trying to say? Recovery, 50% will recovery. So we're in, as long as Gibby doesn't do anything absolutely insane, we're just sitting pretty. We're just gonna keep on snapping. Enjoy some sick, tasty guitar licks. He didn't do it. No marathon first of him using Killer Trees 2 times in a row. So all we have to do this turn, we're gonna use Pangorma's special skill, which is lightning. And this skill actually stinks a lot, like casually. Because what it does is, it does 175% of Pangorma's attack, which sounds great, but it stuns him for a turn. So if you were to use it, but still need damage to be done, he would be stunned for a turn. So you'd actually do less damage than just straight up attacking twice. But if you notice, since we're on this nice little cycle here, Gibby ends up with 1 health on this turn, which is really cool because all it'll take is Duduzmol's single attack to end the fight. And he won't summon any more minions. If he had minions there, we would need to kill them before the fight would be over too. The fog blast music definitely grows on you, especially when you sit in there for a while trying to figure out what you're doing. I personally like all of the music in this game. Some of the best stuff is hidden in the extra content outside of the main story. But after you win, Gibby's castle explodes, and we fall right onto the stage where we could play some music. Pick up the guitar, Wayne. Pick it up! And then you get a nice little song. Vuax dancing in the background. All right, how do I get out of here? Plate horribly seals their multi-radar. Whoa. Just don't worry about it. All right, so time is coming up in about like 10 seconds here. We have to jump on a button. As soon as we jump on this button, time is up. And time. So, I mean, we have a little extra time. This cutscene is basically just like an ode to the artist and his art style. Very interesting to watch. But that's a GG. Really solid run, honestly. Besides me, you know, just running straight into an enemy for literally no reason. But, you know, it was pretty good other than that. But here, just enjoy this cutscene. I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to ruin it. I really like the Wayne plane. Here's a bunch of monsters we never saw before. They are in the game, though. This is definitely a video game. Yeah, that's it, everybody. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed the run. I had a blast running it. Thanks, Questing for Glory, for having me. Good luck to all the runners who are about to come after me. And I hope you all stick around to watch some amazing runs, because I know I'll be doing that. But thanks again, everybody. I had a great time.